The mother of a man who neighbours claim was hounded to death by yobs has paid tribute to her son, saying he was a true gentleman. It's emerged the authorities were warned David Askew was being targeted years before he was found dead at his home in Hattersley in Greater Manchester. This video footage shows the 64-year-old, who had learning difficulties, being taunted by local youths, although there's no suggestion those pictured here were involved in the incident which led up to his death. It was on Wednesday night that Mr Askew confronted a gang of teenagers. When they ran off, he collapsed. It's thought stress could have been a factor. Police now say an 18-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of his manslaughter. Officers in Greater Manchester say they'd done everything they could to protect Mr Askew, but some neighbours are unconvinced.
We didn't see it. I didn't see it. His life was frustrating. His death was caused through a bully. He was bullied to death. He was baited, constantly baited.
The culture of antisocial behaviour blights the lives of thousands of people in this country. David Askew was picked on for 20 years, harassed, name-called, all because he was vulnerable.
Police tape seals off a house in Hattersley, Greater Manchester, now part of an investigation into the death of a man. 64-year-old David Askew collapsed and died here on Wednesday night. Neighbours say he was tormented to death by bullies.
Can't believe what's going on. Well, it's not a shock, put it that way.
On the night he died, David and his family were targeted by antisocial youths. The so-called bear baiting was far from being a one-off.
Very bad. Windows constantly being broken. The abuse they get, your mother even gets the abuse as well.
It's claimed the campaign of harassment had been going on for around a decade. At times, David would throw money and cigarettes out of his window to try and stop the teenagers coming back, but they did, even though the garden was watched by cameras. Chief Superintendent Zoe Hamilton said his learning difficulties were a focus for the yobs.
It's a sad fact that if you are different in a community, sometimes you do end up being targeted. So his family have had some issues over a number of years, really, with different youths who have caused a nuisance at with the family.
The police had been criticised themselves. They had been warned about the torment laid on David, his brother Brian and mother Rose, who was wheelchair-bound. No physical injuries have been recorded, but the investigation may be turned into a criminal one if stress is found to be a factor in David's death.